In tonight's in-depth coverage, the two remaining survivors of the Tulsa Race Massacre are pleading with the state's highest court to reconsider their ruling against them. It just came out last month, and we told you last month when the state Supreme Court rejected their case to sue the city of Tulsa. The survivors wanted not just money, they wanted rebuilding things back in Black Wall Street, what is Greenwood today, and restore it to its former glory. Fox 23's Jade Morrow went to today's news conference to look at what their next steps are.
They're coming out nearly a month since their case was dismissed to say they're not done fighting for what they want. And they want justice before these last two living survivors pass away.
Ensure she gets justice that she deserves. She's waiting. She's making the call. She remembers the meeting with the president. She remembers the promise that was made. She wants it to come to fruition.
The last living survivors of the 1921 Tulsa Race Massacre and their attorneys say they're going to try again in court to get justice. Their attorneys held a news conference with them Tuesday to announce their intentions. It's the first public response since their historic case was thrown out by Oklahoma's highest court last month. Their survivors' attorneys argued the court's decision revealed new grounds and new reasons they should be allowed to go to trial. They said, quote, "We are profoundly disappointed by the Oklahoma Supreme Court's decision to reject our lawsuit and are deeply saddened that we may not live long enough to see the state of Oklahoma or the United States of America honestly confront and right the wrongs of one of the darkest days of American history." I spoke to Demario Solomon Simmons, who was the attorney for this case. He says the state Supreme Court misunderstood what the survivors were asking for.
They talked about a case that asked for a constructive trust, but we didn't ask for a constructive trust. We asked for an unjust enrichment claim. And we didn't get an opportunity to even replead or try to fix it to the way that they would like us to do.
Despite meeting with federal, state, and local officials, including the Biden administration, Solomon Simmons says everyone wants to talk about getting justice, but no one wants to give the survivors any path to get it.
I'm in pain when we make these losses. I'm in pain when we dismiss. I'm in pain looking at Mother Fletch, Mother Randall, and knowing that she's here with me on a press conference. I'm holding back my emotions, my tears.
He says his clients continue to live in a Tulsa that still reaps the benefits of what happened 100 years ago, but refuses to share those benefits with the actual victims and their children and grandchildren.
Justice is those insurance claims are being paid. Justice is those buildings that was destroyed being rebuilt. Justice is making sure that no one can move from this area or move from this issue without saying, first and foremost, are the people that was harmed, are they made whole? That's justice.
Demario says right now they have to wait to see what the court says about the petition for a rehearing and go from there. In Tulsa, covering news that matters, I'm Jade Morrow, Fox 23 News.
So in addition to filing for a new petition today, as you may have heard in that news conference, the survivors also called out President Joe Biden to keep what they say is a promise he made them 3 years ago when he visited Tulsa. Their survivors and their attorneys said today Biden verbally promised them 3 years ago he would personally see to it that they received some form of justice before they died. We want to recap the case just because of some of the language used in the story we just showed you. The Race Massacre survivors tried to claim the after effects of the Tulsa Race Massacre is a public nuisance that continues to impact the lives of those who not just survived, but what happened 100 years ago, but also the children and grandchildren of those, many still living in North Tulsa today. They were not suing for cash reparations. However, they were suing for the right to start a jury trial process that could grant them economic reparations. They were not seeking direct cash payments in this case.
It annoys and injures the survivors, comfort, repose, health, and renders survivors insecure in their life. That's what we pled. That is our burden at this point in the litigation. Again, this is a pleading stage. That's all we have to allege to have an opportunity to move to discovery.
Again, economic reparations here. In the end, the court ruled the state's public nuisance law was not meant to be used for claims like this, and they said a trial could not move forward. But the survivors' attorneys argued the court decision revealed new grounds and new reasons they should be allowed to go to trial when they issued that decision. The petition was for a rehearing was filed on Tuesday morning, but it has not been given a date to be heard before the justices yet. The only federal action we've seen when it comes to what happened in Greenwood 103 years ago is Congress hoping to establish a national monument marking for all what happened there. A hearing was held in the U.S. Senate earlier this spring to consider the proposal with the National Park Service. We told you in December, Oklahoma U.S. Senator James Lankford joined forces with New Jersey Senator Cory Booker, filing the bill to create a national monument. The Black Wall Street Coalition says it would help recognize the events that unfolded during the 1921 Tulsa Race Massacre.